first light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light. And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go. Tommy Paratis jumps off in front as well, but Samuel Bean giving him a headache around the source as well. In behind Piotr Stachulec, joined by Kedon Lutt, as well as Ulas Ozyildirim. Paratis leads though, Paratis leads, but he's very closely followed by Samuel Bean in second place. Further back, Akinci trying to scrap back too. Here comes Samuel Bean, heading down the inside now in behind Stachulec, looking to try and make it a 3 wide from the get-go. Paratis holds the inside line, heading in towards Lake Com, side by side, contact as they make their way through off the track, Samuel Bean, but he gives the position. Paratis in front, he starts the Belgian Grand Prix in front, and there's a Haas that's gone off, that's Ruben Vallejo. See wheel-to-wheel action between Christoph Zeller and Szabó-Kónyi. AlphaTauri versus Red Bull, no friends here at FuturEsports. Down the inside now as they make their way through. And Lake Com, oh, the switchback is superb there from Szabó-Kónyi, who immediately tries to fight back, just can't quite find his way past Christoph Zeller as they make their way up through Eau Rouge. Now there's going to be a battle for the lead shortly though, because Samuel Bean makes his way up through the Kemmel Straight. Will he take the lead? Heading into Lake Com, side by side they go. Samuel Bean with the advantage. Aston Martin hits the front, Bean hits the front. P1 he gets. Tommy Paratis down to second place. Being one of the Paratis holds on to net P2. Samuel Bean now back into net P3. Ulas Ozyildirim into net P4. Paratis now with a chance to take the net lead of the race now as he goes side by side with Piotr Stachulec making his way up the Kemmel Straight. It's oh so easy, oh so simple. Paratis into fourth place, Danny Berezne. He is right in the rear of Piotr Stachulec, side by side. Now heading up through the straight at Kemmel. Paratis retakes the lead for the race now here on lap 7. And I doubt we're going to see another swap for the lead, folks. Ulas Ozyildirim right
dangerous for Tomek because Ulas can overtake him as well and he can lose 2 positions at once. Such a close battle. And yeah, I predicted, and now even Samuel Bean attacks Tomek, and Tomek is on the outside and Samuel Bean overtakes. He has a 3 seconds penalty, but there you go. Straight is so long, he lost 3 positions in one straight. He actually might have damaged. He lost 5 positions. What a crazy turnaround for his race, oh my god. And there is not the right strategy, but just to push and pray basically.
Certainly is. Here comes Samuel Bean now, and he might go for a double here because he might get Piotr Stachulec round the outside into Lake Com. Can't quite unleash the beast and overtake the Ferrari, the Scuderia. Hangs on by the skin of his teeth right now. Here comes Ozyildirim, maybe having a look down into the next right. Big incident there. A very close gap. Ulas Ozyildirim late on the brakes, and a little nudge of encouragement pushed Samuel Bean into the front. Going ahead, oh, Piotr Stachulec, Ulas Ozyildirim now in front, but he's not going to have, is he going to have DRS? That is the question. Side by side now between him and Stachulec. 3 wide as they now make their way through. 5 cars in with a chance as they now come in towards Lake Com. Oh, big crash, major crash. Ulas Ozyildirim has lost it. He's lost it. He's off the track. Kedon Lutt now up into P3, scrapping it out with Akinci. Here comes Louis Welch out of nowhere. Down through now towards Bruxelles. They battle, they scrap, they fight, they claw. It is Louis Welch up into 3rd place. He has done it. The pad man out of nowhere. He has 3 seconds of time penalties, but he's 3rd place on track.
Vedder took the gamble and take the victory because if he remained first, he would have not win this race, but now he crosses the line first. Well done to him, and sorry for the drama.
And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 and immediately Tommy Paratis gets off the line, oh so quick, and down in behind him as well, Samuel Bean. Just look at Christoph Zeller in 4th place as well, just ahead of Piotr Stachulec, who won at Belgium of course, but no change really at the top. Paratis leads, Samuel Bean 2nd, Akinci in 3rd, Luke Smith battling nose to tail here with Ulas Ozyildirim, who gets ahead of the Mercedes now, as you can now see further back, Milan Meyer also scrapping with none other than Louis Welch down through, deep diving around this next right-hander, heading around the Slovakia as they make their way around. It is going to be Louis Welch just holding on here. Here comes Bial, deep diving down the inside now as they power through down towards the Hans box now. Through this next dogged left-hander, back on the throttle very shortly. Can the Alfa Romeo get any traction? No, it's going to be Lewis Welch who holds on to P10, Danny Berezne. Akinci down through towards turn 1. Will he get ahead? There you can see now Samuel Bean on the exit. Here comes Perantic, wheel to wheel now. This is so key, so important. Perantic now effectively net leader in this Grand Prix. Extraordinary, Danny Berezne.
So it's not easy to fight because you don't have multiply opportunities, and we see some battle midfield. The soft runners are at an awesome pace right now, but I'm wondering how long they will last. Valeo.
For another go at the lead. He gets it absolutely this time. Oh, Stachulec gets caught by Tome Perantic. Has he managed to keep the car under control? There's a huge scrap now, leading in towards P3. A huge opportunity.
Overtake from, and he is closing in. He uses all of his energy, and he will re-overtake. This is crazy. A lead changed again, and it's all about the last lap. And
he knows he must defend relentlessly. He's gonna be up against it. Samuel Bean now, outside line, side by side, around turn 1. The Alpine defends the inside. The Aston Martin immediately straight onto the throttle, goes for broken. Samuel Bean's done it. He's up into P1, a daring move. It's not going to be enough for Perantic. He's not going to win today, but the man who is, it's Samuel Bean. He will win here at Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix. And Tome Perantic has sustained a penalty in the dying moments that has sent him down to P7 position. Incredible. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to FuturEsportS FES League 3. And we are about to bring you yet more action from this absolutely outstanding event. Obviously, a lot of these drivers taking part in the Challengers Series, but they are here tonight under the PC banner here at FuturEsportS, bringing you some of the best action on the planet in the world of F1 esports, of course. Tonight, we're bringing you live action from Monza, followed that by Austin, Texas. But I am not alone. I am, of course, your commentator, George Morgan. But I'm also joined with a man who hasn't quite got his camera on yet, but I'm sure he will shortly. It's Josh Davis. Josh, how are you doing?
Yeah, hello everyone. Sorry if can't be seen on my camera. I think it's on Discord, but I don't know why that's going on. But yeah, hello everyone. Welcome back to FES at the round 4 event 4 of the season, with a load of quick drivers in here once again. Marcus Stahl makes his debut today as well, Samuel Bean as well. A lot of these drivers in the F1 Esports Challenger Series, which is happening for the PC guys on Thursday this week. So very exciting times, getting a little bit of practice in for those guys indeed. But it's going to be an absolutely fantastic affair, as it usually is in Monza, one of my favourite tracks to commentate and drive over, the Temple of Speed as it is called as well. You know, it's just an absolutely incredible racetrack, very, very famous on the original F1 calendar. You know, it's an absolute fantastic one to commentate and race over, and should be some fantastic action to come your way tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Timbo has said in the YouTube chat, first FES stream in my new house, folks. I have moved. Some of you might have noticed the scenery has changed somewhat. Still got some blue neon lights, a little bit of a different backdrop. But I have to tell you, it's great to be here, certainly for the very first FES stream in this new premises. I'm looking forward to this, folks. As you can see, here's the track guide of Monza, 5.793 kilometers, 11 turns here at Monza, of course, and the lap record being set around about a 121.046. So we'll look forward to seeing how close these guys can get to it. We might see a few beat it. We'll soon see. Of course, the story from our last event was that of Samuel Bean. He has now taken the lead in the championship. We'll take a quick look as well at some of the scenery from last time. Of course, we've got some nice views of the calendar that we can certainly bring you, so we'll certainly do that, to say the least. But just want to get some comments certainly from yourself, Jish. Obviously, this is going to be a very iconic, I think, week of racing, given the fact that we've got two very interesting circuits, Italy and Austin, Texas, and a big test for the drivers. But certainly, as we have a look at the calendar here, this is what we've got on show, and it certainly is going to be a special event.
Yeah, absolutely. Monza is one of those tracks, you know, it's taken at about 66% full throttle around the track. So you're most likely, well, most of this track is taking a full throttle, so it is very, very fast, very unforgiving if you do get it wrong. So drivers just have to be a little bit careful of that nothing bad happens their way. If you do try and overstep the mark, it will definitely punish you, you know, at the S's into turn 4. You got the Valiante de Rogia as well, which if you take the curves a little bit wrong, you are in the gravel. Same with Valiante de Retifilia. We saw that with Hamilton and Verstappen this year, where Verstappen went over the back of Hamilton's car. If it gets a little bit too tight, that can happen. If you be careful as well not to invalidate at a scar. If you take too much, you can take a little bit of the corner, but you can't take a lot. So you have to really be careful of that, but it's definitely punishing if you do get it wrong, which is one of the natures of this track, really. It's absolutely fantastic to see. Same with Kota as well. You know, you've got very, very fast-flowing corners, especially sector 1, probably one of the trickiest on the circuit. You've got 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, all of the S's very, very fast taken. So, and a lot of time to be taken there. So you've got to be really, really careful how you place the car, where you place the car is the really special place about it. And there's a few overtaking opportunities as well. Turn 1, notably at on the first lap if you're daring, turn 12 as well, and also into the final sector of 15, 16, 17 and 18. Obviously try not to do a Max Verstappen of 2017 and get a penalty after that. But there's a lot of interesting corners and very fast corners on both sides of the track. So yeah, we couldn't have really asked for a better event, to be honest.
Not at all. Primož Miklavčič comes across the line, so it's a 121.153 on the medium tyres. Piotr Stachulec here, of course, winning at Spa last time out. And I have to say, he's come back again, 120.146, looking relatively quick on mediums, but no one can topple this Fampuki just yet, setting an initial fast time of a 119.520, not messing about with the medium tyre, going straight in on to the soft tyre, and certainly a man intent on righting some wrongs, to say the least. Plenty of cars out on track, though, including this man, Luke Smith, who has unfortunately invalidated this run. But also we've got the star of last time out as well, Samuel Bean, who currently tops the championship, 78 points to his name. What can this man do now as he makes his way down through towards the famous Parabolica bend? He has got Tomek Perazis lined up as well. He's on track, currently on an out lap. He'll be out and about as well, as Christoph Zeller hits the top now on soft tyres, a 119.332. He goes first fastest. Samuel Bean, he goes second fastest, a 119.4 is what he nails to get things underway. Straight on the soft tyres for him as well. But the man we all want to watch and see is this man, Tomek Perazis. Let's run on board with the Polish driver as he makes his way down through towards turn 1 at the Retifilia chicane. Comes down into it, and as you can see, very treacherous on the brakes, but he squeezes it well. Just twists the wheel slightly, gets the traction. 6th gear now as he now rounds the curb at Grande. I'm sure we'll see a number of Grande moves here at Monza as he now makes his way down through towards the Rogia chicane here at the Temple of Speed. Breaks in between the 100 and the 50, attacks the chicanes. As you can see, they're trying to nestle every single apex. Now down through towards the Lesmo corners at turns 4 and 5. Hangs on the throttle in 6th gear. He'll have another one of the Lesmos to take now. The next one now riding a lot of the curb as well. The yellow flags are raised. That's obviously for slow drivers at this circuit. Obviously we'll come across quite a few of them, given the fact that this track is so quick. Into the Ascari chicane now, once again attacking the bend. Oh, he's just invalidated, heading through the Ascari. Really unfortunate, but Akinci, he hits the top with a 119.182. The time's coming in thick and fast, Josh.
Absolutely, Akinci with a monster lap there, banker lap of a 19.182. I actually saw Tom Primož, he actually invalidated a Lesmo 2, so not what he wanted there, but he's going to try for one more. Is the Alpine driver, now the McLaren shadow of today, of course, in the real life sort of things. Akinci as well with an absolutely monstrous lap, I may say so myself. 19.182 banker, that is absolutely incredible from the Turkish driver. There's still a few more drivers out there. Szabó-Kónyi as well in P5, doing very, very well for Red Bull. Milan Mayer as well, putting it into P6. A lot of the FES guys, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. But it's absolutely fantastic to see so far. Everyone practically setting up for some soft runs now. You've seen the quickest medium runners, I think, which was Szabó-Kónyi with that 19.41. So I might be wrong, actually. I think it was actually Piotr Stachulec with a 20.146, of course, because I think medium 19.412 would be very much cause as a concern. That is just a monstrous time on the medium. Zoltan Boda was going to be on a lap, but he's decided to peel it back in towards the pit lane. I believe Piotr Stachulec as well is also on a lap in the other Ferrari. Round the curve, Grande in 7th gear, holding it in towards 8th, and then he's got the Rogiers of 4 and 5 next to boot, as also Tom Primož trying to go for one more as well as he comes towards the Curva Parabolica and invalidates once again. It's not looking good for Tom Primož, he just can't really find that good lap together.
Was unseated off the top of the standings last time out, but now Piotr Stachulec, a man who will surely be given a boon of confidence after that immense victory at Spa. He's now out and about on soft tyres after setting his initial lap on mediums. Comes through the Ascari chicane and looking rapid, but invalidates through the Ascari chicane. Punishing for Stachulec, and certainly not the time to be wasting soft tyres. Plenty of other drivers out on track too, though. Kedon Lutt as well out and about on track as he comes through the Curva Grande. Plenty of cars out and about, including Primož Miklavčič. And look at this, Kedon Lutt, fastest in Sector 1. He gets purple. Could this be a top billing lap here, Josh?
Absolutely can be Kedon Lutt. I know he's been practicing quite a bit with Primož Miklavčič, I believe, on his streams. So he's absolutely doing perfectly in Sector 1 to go purple to try and get it up there with Akinci as he comes towards Sector 2. Now coming into Valiante Ascari. Be careful not to invalidate, and he's actually 6/10 up on his lap right now. Not quite a purple Sector 2, but it's definitely going to be up there with a lot of the big boys, as you can probably see. P6, P5, top P5, which is probably what he's looking at the moment as he comes towards the Curva Parabolica. Now final corner, as it's a long winding right-hander. Get onto the AstroTurf ever so slightly and then cut to the right-hand line on towards the pit straight, and across the line comes Kedon Lutt and goes P2, 19.246, and I'm sure that'll come to a massive surprise for him. That is an audacious lap from Kedon Lutt. Brilliant to see there from the Finnish driver.
Yeah, Primož Miklavčič nestling himself into 3rd place as well. A mere near enough half a tenth is all that separates him and Kedon Lutt. They're actually within that half a tenth, in fact, approximately 4 thousandths of a second, or 400ths of a second between them. So nothing separates that of Miklavčič and Kedon Lutt. There's a little gap then, a similar gap between Akinci and Kedon Lutt. So Kedon Lutt now just starting to find that improved form we're expecting to see. All the drivers now out on track. There's actually nobody in the pit lane right now, either a few cars out on hot laps or others on out laps. So it's going to be an absolute crunching 8 minutes ahead now, folks. Plenty of opportunities for pole position. It's certainly not all said and done yet. Obviously, Akinci still holding on to that P1 spot. Obviously not comfortable with it. He is out on an outlap. He is going again. A man we do want to look at, though, is this man. Race Clutch's very own Luke Smith, of course. And, of course, Race Clutch known to be looking after the affairs of the Alpine F1 esports team. And Luke Smith, could he be tailor-made for that role? He's already gone purple in Sector 1 and making his way around the next right-hander. In fact, I think he might be slowing down. He's backed out of that initial lap. That's certainly going to be painful for him.
Yeah, definitely so. So unfortunate to see for Luke Smith. Maybe just thinking it's not that good enough, but obviously, yeah, as you said, teamed up with the Race Clutch Esports team, which take care of the Team Alpine drivers. So he has that link with Alpine when he gets in towards the Challengers sort of scene. But we already know his pace is absolutely immaculate, as we've seen for his PSGL F2 appearances and his F1 appearances to be. In fact, he's beaten a lot of the real guys, so he's a force to be reckoned with is the youngster. So it's absolutely incredible to watch him here, and he's yet to set the time on the board. Just can't really find that perfect lap so far, but he's going to go for one more on the same set of soft compound tyres. Goes across the line with that 25.052, obviously not invalidating on his back to that run. Milan Meyer goes P7 just behind with the 19.341, just about 9,000 slower than Stella Christoph in P6. They're doing very, very well in the Challengers season. Top 2 as Akinci goes even quicker. He knew it wasn't safe, it probably wasn't going to be, and he gets himself in towards the 19 deaths, 19.070. Fantastic lap there from the Turkish man, and he goes even quicker and clears Kedon Lutt by about 0.2 of a second now, even under 0.2 of a second now. It's looking very, very good for Akinci right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Akinci holding his own and very nearly breaking into the 118s, which would have been a superb effort. Istvan Pukki now coming up towards the line. He's actually invalidated his run as well. We've also got Marcus Thal coming up towards the line himself as well. He moves up 10th fastest, as then we also have Samuel Bean, who's out and about as well. He crosses the line and makes his way down towards the first chicane here on the circuit. Incredible stuff indeed. Piotr Stachulec moves up into P2, second fastest, separated by near 0.02 of a second he himself. Incredible indeed. Ulas Ozyildirim also in third place as well, making his way up the classification. Plenty of others coming across the line as well, including that, I believe, of Luke Smith, who's now finally made his way up into P4, registering a time, and Milan Meyer improves to go fifth fastest. Pandemonium up at the top order. They're all chopping and changing. They're all improving. We have got a fascinating encounter ahead here.
Absolutely. Luke Smith was really, really quick in towards Sector 2, but I think he lost a little bit of time in Sector 3. That 19.164 was not what I was expecting, but it's an absolutely monstrous lap. Either way, he gets himself in towards the top 4. He probably has time for one more one when the McLarens of Kedon Lutt also out there on his outlap, going for his final few runs in qualifying with the Hasses as well. The only Haas on the grid tonight is Istvan Pukki. He's going to come towards the final corner now. I believe he hasn't validated, and he has done. Samuel Bean and Primož Miklavčič, the only ones left in the Aston Martin squad, and Samuel Bean goes pole position, 19.052, just as he crosses the line, gets the job done, and gets pole position by about 0.02 of a second, which may make Akinci nervous. Does he want to try and go out for one more and waste those one final sets of sauce, or will he just play it safe and just save the sauce for later? But it's all going to happen here. Will he go, or will he stay?
We'll have to wait and see. Certainly, Kedon Lutt now trying to certainly enforce an improved visit here in this final run, that's for sure. Not much time left in this session, but certainly you can imagine Kedon Lutt looking to try and nestle something good. But unfortunately, losing time in Sector 2, that is not going to help. But at the end of the day, needs a massive Sector 3 here to pull something out of the bag, as now we're looking at him rush down this next straight. Luke Smith, he's about to make his way into the pit lane. I'd imagine there might be one more run on the table for him as well. Plenty of others leading their way out of the pit lane, back onto the circuit here. This is really intriguing. Kedon Lutt now backing off and going into the pit lane as well. The AlphaTauri, though, out and about. That's Christoph Zeller, a man we've seen fighting at the top end, certainly a proven race winner. I'll tell you what, he could be one to turn up the heat. A huge opportunity here for the AlphaTauri to go quicker here today.
Absolutely. Stella Christoph, probably one of the best Hungarians in league racing right now. He's absolutely monstrously quick, is this young man. He's absolutely brilliant to see him race. Obviously out on the track now, currently P2 in the Challengers Series, so has a really good shot of trying to make it to the Pro-Am Series, which would be a mega achievement for him. I'm not sure if he has many ties, but we should see a lot of the team should be eyeing this guy up. He's absolutely rapid on his day. so he's looking to try and improve. Currently in P11 with that 19.332, but he's definitely got a lot more in that lap. There's a lot of people out on track now. Ozyildirim, Tomek Primož, who still hasn't got a lap on the board, and I believe he's backed out of his lap in towards the Rogiers. So it's just not really sticking with Tomek right now. He got pole position at WOR with that 18.8, so he knows how to get the 18s, but just not really falling for him tonight. Not sure what it may be, but it's just not really working out for him right now. But he can definitely go a lot quicker. But we could see some more monstrous lap times from the Polish man as Stachulec crosses the line to start his first flying laps alongside his teammate Norbert Jakob just behind. But it's definitely going to be a very intriguing 1 minute and 50 seconds left of this qualifying session.
Yeah, Ido Martin, who's leading around those final runs. Certainly with just under 2 minutes left to go, the McLaren was 0.004 of a second slower in Sector 1, now making his way down through towards the Ascari chicane, and he's got a friend in behind as well, certainly by that name of Akinci, who was unseated by Samuel Bean towards the closing stages of this qualifying session. And I believe Ido Martin has actually slowed down. He is not looking to improve now, but here comes Akinci, a man who surely will be looking to improve, but he's slowing down as well, so he's going to have to go round again as we're now looking at other cars in behind as well. Milan Meyer starting to move his car further up the field now, trying to at least grab a handle on some performance here at Monza. There is other drivers in behind too, like the likes of Bence, Szabó-Kónyi, who is also making his way around. There's a Mercedes in the background too, that of course being Luke Smith, and Marcus Thorne is also out on track too, as we're now watching them make their way down the Auspicious curves and bends. Christoph Zeller is going to be the one to cross the line next, that's for sure, as he makes his way up towards the line. Can he improve the Hungarian as he makes his way through? Any improvement? Certainly not for now. He remains in P11, and he's got his teammate right in behind as well, that being Norbert Jakob. Can he improve towards the very end as he makes his way up towards the line, past the paddock side? P7 for Norbert Jakob. That is a very good improvement indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. So brilliant lap time there for Norbert Jakob as Peter Stachulec is going to come towards the line now in the Ferrari. Can he go any quicker? Currently in P3. Can he get into the 18s? Yes, he can. 18.984. Peter Stachulec is on pole position. Tomek Primož did not get that pole position. He gets into P4 with a 19.069. Ulas Ozyildirim gets into P2 with a 19.048. It's looking likely very, very good for Peter Stachulec at the moment. Marcus Stahl cannot improve when the Red Bulls out on track at the moment. That's going to be Ben Szabó-Kónyi. I believe it may be Akinci, but it's going to be Akinci. 6,000 up is not looking good at the moment, but he can dethrone Tomek Primož across the line. He goes P2, even better improvement in towards Sector 3 and gets that front row position. Milan Meyer as well across the line. He's going to come up to the line now. 7,000 up in Sector 2. That may be a bug. He stays P7, does not improve as who's that? Ben Szabó-Kónyi, sorry, goes up into P7 with a 19.177. Kedon Lutt also on a lap as he comes towards the final couple of corners, currently in P11 riding through the S's now as his teammate Ido Martin coming out of the pits. Norbert Jakob as well is going to go for one more. Stachulec, his teammate, goes into P9. Norbert Jakob goes P6. Brilliant lap there for Norbert Jakob and gets up into P6. Zoltan Boda will stay 15th. Kedon Lutt currently in P12 now. What can he do in the McLaren as he comes towards the line? 2 tenths up and he goes pole position. 80.960. Where did that come from? Kedon Lutt is on pole position here in FES. What a lap from the finish man.
Great lap indeed for Kedon Lutt, and that puts himself right at the top of the billing, breaking the 118s alongside Piotr Stachulec and improving by nigh on 200ths of a second. Very good indeed, beating that from Stachulec, certainly the man who won at Spa in our previous line of events, but this time it's Kedon Lutt on top. Has struggled to sort of capture the best form that we know from him, but now back with a vengeance in the McLaren, and what a way to do it, lining up on pole position heading into the race at Monza. No better place to do it than the Temple of Speed, and he's going to be lined up alongside Piotr Stachulec. McLaren and Ferrari alongside each other. How many times have we seen that, folks? Akinci in behind as well, a man who's been so consistent, probably the most consistent driver in the championship so far this season. Second in the championship, 73 points, and Piotr Stachulec, you got the top two there in the top 3 of the classification. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. Of course, Tomek Primož, he will also be looking for an upturn in his fortunes, but he's going to need a mega start at the start of this race here at Monza. Can he do it? That's the big bold question. We'll go through now the final classifications, the results from this first qualifying session. Kedon Lutt is the fastest driver. The furiously fast Finn is on top of 118.960 with Stachulec second, Akinci third, Ulas Ozyildirim fourth, Samuel Bean in fifth, with also Tomek Perazis in sixth, Norbert Jakob seventh, Luke Smith in eighth, Szabó-Kónyi in ninth, as well as Primož Miklavčič in 10th, Istvan Pukki in 11th, with Milan Mayer in 12th, Christoph Zeller 13th, Marcus Thal 14th, Zoltan Boda in 15th, with Ido Martin lining up in 16th place, folks. What a sensational qualifying session. Certainly it was an absolute pleasure to watch there, Joshua. What does this mean for the race? Who sticks out? I suppose we should discuss the sensational qualifying lap from Kedon Lutt. Absolutely marvellous.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant lap there from Kedon. I know he's been practicing a lot for this Italian Grand Prix coming up in Challenges, and it's just a great start, to be honest. With this sort of being a practice session for the Challenges, a lot of these guys take it as it's a brilliant gliding step for the real thing on Thursday. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely buzzing with that lap time. Get into the low 19s, but he's got the job done into the 18s and beating Piotr Stachulec and Tomek Perazis as well, which is a really great achievement for him. Obviously, probably the standout of today was Kedon Lutt, but probably the big shock, to be honest, Tomek Perazis, who is in P6, but I would have probably expected to be a little bit higher in the top 3, but it really stick for him, to be honest. But he's definitely got a lot of pace still to go in that Alpine. As we know, it can definitely cause a massive upset, but Kedon Lutt definitely a very good qualifying session for him, taking those points crucially in the championship. But he's got some very quick drivers behind him: Piotr Stachulec, Akinci, Ulas Ozyildirim, Samuel Bean, and of course Tomek Perazis just behind him as well. So he's got a lot of quick drivers just behind him, but it's definitely going to get interesting in these first opening laps.
Certainly is. Just a reminder of the circuit, folks. 5.793 kilometres, 11 turns. And of course, here at Monza, we have got a lap time of 121.046. The drivers smashed that in qualifying. 119s we got to see, but obviously we'll look forward to seeing what these drivers can pull off during the race as well. They are currently going out on the formation lap, folks. We'll look forward to seeing that now as we cross over to the race screen. It's a pleasure to have you all with us. Obviously, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, to leave a like and also subscribe to the FuturEsports channels, either on Twitch or YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, hit the follow button and stay up to date with everything FuturEsports. Not forgetting as well, they do have their own Twitter pages and Instagram. Be sure to check those out as well for more updates as to what FuturEsports are indeed up to. But I have to say, it's a pleasure to be here at Italy, and certainly at the Temple of Speed here at Monza. It's just a sensational circuit. High-speed corners, plenty of chicanes, plenty of testing sections, long straights, plenty of overtaking, and that is what we love. Just to ask you now, Josh, before we hit all 5 lights and go green, what are your predictions? Who do you think is going to take this victory here today? Also, everyone in the live chat, tell me your predictions. Hit up the live chat. We want to hear from you. But Josh, tell us who you think. Josh, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. I had my mic on mute for some reason, which is a bit weird, but hopefully you can all hear me now. But yeah, obviously, Kedon Lutt getting that pole position was a big shot. I thought Stachulec had that, but maybe not. But I'm going to go with Piotr Stachulec today. I think it was an absolutely fantastic effort for him on his first lap to go pole position, but I think he will pick up the win today.
Piotr Stachulec is Josh Davis's choice. Of course, there's plenty of options up at the top end. Kedon Lutt with his best result, or his best qualifying performance so far this season here at Monza. Can he follow it up with a win here at the Temple of Speed? Let's find out. And brace yourself, folks, because we're going to be in for a hellacious ride. First light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light. And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go! Kedon Lutt gets off to a good start, but so does Piotr Stachulec, but has to go in behind now. The Finnish driver who tries to close off the inside. Here comes Akinci, who looks to try and fight. Stachulec holds on to P2. Ulas Ozyildirim moves his way up into P4, while holds on to P4. Keeping Samuel Bean in behind. Here comes Tomek Perazis trying to gain a little bit. He goes ahead of Norbert Jakob. Jakob certainly is there. Szabó-Kónyi comes in to join the fight as they make their way down into the Roger chicane. Tight squeeze, but they go through. Contact there between Norbert Jakob and Szabó-Kónyi. No friends there. And AlphaTauri and Red Bull as they chuck it up the inside. Istvan Pukki sends it ahead of Milan Meyer. What a start though. Kedon Lutt leads the Italian Grand Prix.
He couldn't have asked for a better start there. It was an absolutely fantastic reaction off the lights and brilliant defensive moves there to cover off the inside in towards turn one at the Roger. It was an absolutely fantastic should I say. It was a brilliant start there from Kedon. Stachulec just couldn't really get those reaction times going. Kedon Lutt just getting the better phase out of the first phase and the second phase and deserved to be in the lead after lap one. But Piotr Stachulec is under a little bit of pressure from Akinci and especially Ulas Ozyildirim just behind. He's looking very, very racy just behind them three as Samuel Baena as well trying his luck to join this fight as well as they all come towards turn one. No looking as Akinci has a little bit of a look on Stachulec there, decides to back out of it very, very early on. Doesn't want to be a part of this just too early. He's still got 12 laps to do it in. So is Marcus Thau is into the pit lane after the first lap. He's not had a good start and he's into the pit lane probably for a new front wing change, but a fantastic start there from Kedon Lutt to deny Piotr Stachulec of the lead on lap one.
Yeah, interesting start here. Second lap in now. Lap 2 of 13. Ulas Ozyildirim currently sitting in P4, currently watching the onboard. He did have a little nose at Akinci in the previous lap. Of course, Akinci did the same to Stachulec as well. Obviously, he doesn't want to leave the Ferrari alone. And obviously, Piotr Stachulec does have a little target on his back. Remember, he was the winner at Belgium. And will no doubt be looking to follow that up with another positive result here. As long as he can stay behind Kedon Lutt, he'll have a chance with DRS and obviously maybe utilise it down the main straights. But now Ozyildirim getting in closer and closer, right on the rear of the Red Bull of Akinci. And these two have fought so many times here in the FES League 3. And it's been a pleasure to watch, to say the least. In behind as well, Tomek Perazis looking to try and gain as well. A man with so much pace. And the Pole who's looking to secure his seat in F1 Esports for the coming season. He'll certainly try and do his damnedest. Here comes Ulas Ozyildirim now. Can he open up the door and make this move heading down towards turn one? As they do so, no answers just yet, but you can just see him locking up the tyres, heading in towards the Rettifilio chicane, but don't write off an opportunity around the Curva Grande. As I said before, plenty of Grande moves, to quote David Croft, as they head through the next right-hander, as they make their way down the stretch leading towards the Roger chicane. And as they do, still nose to tail in tandem now, as we just see Luke Smith having a little look potentially on Norbert Jakob, but they're still all in a string, no moves just yet. DRS train is now underway. Still plenty of laps left though, folks. 10 laps to go.
Absolutely. So the top 10 pretty much closing away from the bottom 11 there. Istvan Pukki just about a second down, but he's gained a little bit of time on Primož Miklavčič now, 8/10 to 9/10 separating the two. But meanwhile, Primož Piotr Stachulec, getting a little bit close to Kedon Lutt there. I think there was a little bit of a nudge between the two, but no harm, no foul. Piotr Stachulec looking very, very racy on Kedon was looking very, very quick on that start of lap 2. Amazing straight line speed he's having in that McLaren car, but he's looking likely that Stachulec could get the job done with the DRS in hand as he comes towards the back straight now as DRS comes in, and those are the two, Ulas Ozyildirim and Samuel Baena coming into the pit lane. Ulas Ozyildirim with a 5-second penalty. We've seen this before where a lot of the drivers electing to pit early to just try and get that undercut, and it's looking likely for a lot of these drivers actually as Akinci goes into the back of Stachulec there. He's got front wing damage on the Red Bull, braking a little bit too late, was not expecting Stachulec to brake any earlier, and Akinci has front wing damage on that Red Bull, but he's still looking a little bit racing the Ferrari. Does he go left or right? Is he going to make a move at all? He's going to dive it down the inside. No, he's not. But Akinci, not what he needed right now. As you can see on that right end plate, there's a missing end plate there. Not what Akinci needs, and he's going to be coming into the pit lane probably on this lap as he lets Tomek Perazis go. Not what he needed at the start of this Grand Prix, but maybe well orchestrated as it was falling on his pit stop anyway. But he's going to get absolutely eaten up by a lot of these guys now, which is not what he needed right now. And contact between Stachulec and Akinci at the start of lap 4, and there goes Norbert Jakob into P4.
It certainly is. Certainly downforce is a necessity around Monza. Grip levels are so important. The correct aero is also important, as now Akinci falls down the field, and now Stachulec with a familiar face in behind, Tomek Paradzis, who of course has done, who has certainly won here, as now we see Kedon Lutt already bail into the pit lane. So a big strategy call there from the McLaren. Let's see if it pays off for him, as we're now seeing Tomek Paradzis move up now on Piotr Stachulec. Will he open up the door? Another man having a look as well is Primož Miklavčič, are going to get into the fight, but interesting moments there indeed. Into the pit lane comes Milan Meyer, as well as Kedon Lutt, as you can see, leaving the pit lane. But as they make their way now back onto the circuit, we're still in lap 5 of 13, plenty left to go. I tell you what, we could see a twist in the tail. Samuel Bean now moving up the order, given the strategies now coming into fruition. But I have to say, probably the most painful point in the race now is the fact that Akinci suffered from that wing damage, but also Ulas Ozyildirim, 5 seconds of penalties.
Absolutely, as Zsolt and Boda just in the distance there, absolutely making a mess of turn 1 and has to go through the barge pool. Not sure if there was contact there, but he gets a penalty for his troubles. But Kedon Lutt down in towards that net P3, obviously Ulas Ozyildirim and Samuel Bean getting them on the undercut, but right now it is a net P2 with Ozyildirim's penalty, which may get removed, as it is a pit lane penalty, but it may get removed further on. But meanwhile, at the top of the step is Stachulec and Paradzis, the two poles. Where have we seen this before? Maybe in challenges, I believe, as Stachulec and Paradzis will be battling away to the pit lane. They don't decide to come in this time. They're going to be battling all the way through, and Obayeko comes into the pit lane in the background. Here comes Tomek Paradzis on Stachulec. He chooses to the right hand side, easy as you like for Paradzis, and waiting for the braking zone. He gets the job done. Paradzis up into the lead of this Grand Prix on lap 6 of 13.
Yeah, very good move, comprehensive move there from the Polish driver Tomek Paradzis, and he will hold his own up at the top end. Of course, we've got Szabó-Kónyi in 3rd place with Primož Miklavčič in 4th. Istvan Puki has just landed the fastest lap of the race so far, as then we look further up, still Paradzis holding his own. He's gone near enough 4/10 clear now of Piotr Stachulec. The grid is very, very strung out at the moment, which is quite strange for Monza, but given the fact we've had quite a split in the strategies, we got about half the field on medium tyres, who started on medium tyres, and then the other half on softs. Obviously that's good for alternates heading into their next run, but we'll have to wait and see how this proves to work in the strategy context, as now they make their way through the Ascari chicane. Will Tomek Paradzis look to box soon? We'll have to keep our eyes on it. Piotr Stachulec might choose to go as well, maybe go with Paradzis, stay on the rear of the Alpine, as now flying through the Parabolica. The Alpine still on top, Ferrari hot on the tail in behind now, as we now watch the drivers make their way through. He certainly will box. Paradzis going in, but Piotr Stachulec stays out.
Absolutely, Primož Miklavčič getting that 5-second penalty as well. Unfortunate to see, and I think Paradzis may have Kedon Lutt here, as 23 seconds coming into the pit lane. It's going to be very, very tight between these two. We run on board with Kedon Lutt now as he comes towards the final corner, on towards the back straight. There is Samuel Bean and Ulas Ozyildirim just in front, and there is Tomek Paradzis in P3 coming out now. Ulas Ozyildirim, they're going to be battling away. He gets Ulas, he gets Samuel Bean, does the two, but will he get Kedon Lutt? No, yes he will actually. Tomek Paradzis getting into Kedon Lutt there. Brilliant starts, brilliant strategy play from Tomek Paradzis. Maybe Kedon Lutt just thinking about maybe he probably wasn't wiser to be one of the first ones to pit. Not what he needed right now, but he's definitely going to be battling with a few of these guys here. Maybe just try and work together in these closing laps of this race. There's still a few to go, and obviously Stachulec and Szabó-Kónyi yet to pit as well. 23 seconds between himself and Kedon Lutt, and 22.3 between Ozyildirim and Stachulec, but I believe they'll probably be pitting for the medium runs now. The only guys still left to box in this race. There goes Stachulec rounding the final corner there with Szabó-Kónyi just behind him. There goes Stachulec into the pit lane now, and Stachulec will take off those soft compound tires to go to the mediums for the end of this Grand Prix, but where will he rejoin?
Yeah, major error from Paradzis coming out of the Ascari chicane, getting so close to the rear of Samuel Bean. It's nip and tuck as they head around the Parabolica. They're being held up by Ulas Ozyildirim. He's holding the pace up here, but a huge opportunity now for Paradzis on Samuel Bean as they head down the stretch. Ozyildirim looks like a sitting duck, because here comes Samuel Bean coming into the fight. Jets pass now of Ulas Ozyildirim. In behind as well, Tomek Paradzis. Paradis. Will he look to pounce? A double overtake of sorts as Samuel Bean moves up into first place. Paradis in second. Stachulec is in third as well. Ozyildirim's lost 2 places in that string of moves, and that is certainly going to send him on the back foot. Further back as well, Kedon Lutt. The early strategy did not work, folks. He's in 5th place now. He's squandered the pole position and is now left him wanting, and he's got a huge fight on his hands to get back to the top.
Absolutely so, Kedon, but he's only 2 tenths back on Ozyildirim right now, so he's still got a lot of time. Ozyildirim obviously with that penalty, so he's going to get P4 either way. His main fight is with Stachulec, Paradis and Bean in front, but there goes Paradis going side by side into the Valiante Ascari there. Brilliant move there from Paradis, and he gets the job done, so obviously thinking he's much quicker there, and I was expecting him to maybe try and go for a move down the back straight in towards the Rettifilio, but doesn't decide to do it, and Paradis up into the lead at Valiante Ascari. Brilliant move there, but here comes Samuel Bean with the DRS he will have on the back straight. Will he get the job done is the question as they come towards the back straight. There is Samuel Bean with the DRS, engaged in the Alpine. He's locked on. Does he want to go for this move? He's gaining and gaining all the time. Does he pull to the right hand side? Yes, he does. He thinks better of it and just breaks a little bit earlier than Paradis, and he still remains in that P1 position. Meanwhile, further back, that's Ben Szabó-Kónyi and Luke Smith going side by side, and Ben Szabó-Kónyi gets the job done. Luke Smith using a lot of traction there, and he's at the back of the field. Not what Luke Smith needed there, and he's back at the field in P14 with Akinci and Zoltan Boda going toe-to-toe there as they've ruined their strategy with the pit lane and a few of their incidents of their own. But Tomek Paradis leads this Grand Prix with 4 laps to go, with Samuel Bean in P2, Stachulec in P3, Ozyildirim in P4 and Lutt in P5.
Kedon Lutt now making his way down this next straight, and very shortly out of the Serigilio, down through towards the Ascari chicane. This high-speed section, of course, that we all know and love, as now he makes his way through in the McLaren. Further up, though, Piotr Stachulec giving Samuel Bean something to think about. Tomek Paradis looking to check out here and try and build a gap out of Ascari. Needs it if he wants to try and maintain pace heading down the home straight. And now Samuel Bean has got a little bit of a headache, because here comes Stachulec, of course, winner at Spa 2 weeks ago. Makes his way down the long straight, will open up DRS. Potential for second place on the table for Stachulec, but also Samuel Bean, who might want to get ahead of Paradis here, heading it towards turn 1. Side, it looked like he was about to make the move, prime and ready, but Paradis, who wanted to hold on to the lead, Samuel Bean did not want to make the jump too early. I get the feeling it's going to be a well-timed battle right at the end of this race. That's what's going to decide what happens here at Monza.
Definitely so. A lot of these guys will be waiting for the final lap or penultimate lap to try and go for moves. That's usually the story in these high-level esports races. They wait until the final moment until it's impossible to make a move. As Tomek Paradis definitely knows that, and he's trying to gap Samuel Bean, but he's doing a very good job of it so far. 6/10 of a second practically separates Paradis and Bean from those 1-2. But Samuel Bean is being carried by this DRS to Paradis, who is doing well to keep him the DRS, but he's got Stachulec just behind him in P3 with Ulas Ozyildirim in P4. Kedon Lutt just needs to pick up the pace ever so slightly in that P5 spot, but right now Samuel Bean is in prime position to try and get Paradis if he gets a good exit out of Parabolic as he comes towards the final corner, and he barely does so. Gains ever so slightly on towards the back straight comes Samuel Bean, the Spanish driver, as they come towards the back straight in towards turn 1 of Valiante to Rettifilio. There goes Samuel Bean, easy as you like on the Aston Martin, on the Alpine, gets the job done, easy as you like. Samuel Bean up into the leaders Grand Prix with 2 laps to go.
Lap 11 of 13, and Paradis now, he's going to have to lick his wounds and try again next time as they round the Curva Grande. And in behind as well is Piotr Stachulec, right in 3rd place right now, nose to tail between the front 3, with Ozyildirim in behind in P4, 4/10 behind that of Stachulec. Kedon Lutt, who is yet to bounce back after losing places after his initial pit stop. He's currently in P5, nursing a half a second drop from Ulas Ozyildirim, but obviously he will leapfrog Ozyildirim because of that 5-second penalty, and of course quite a number of drivers in behind will probably go ahead of Ozyildirim at this rate, as here comes now Paradzis down through towards the Ascari chicane, side by side, but the pole goes in front. Great maneuver indeed, very majestic, and now holds on to the lead there. Paradzis power here at Monza, and being in behind in second place. Stachulec now could prove, well, he could actually make a move down through the Parabolica as they come out now. He's right on the rear of the Aston Martin, and certainly Samuel Bean is going to be under some relentless pressure here, has to dive down the inside and weave slightly on the straight. Stachulec is in his slipstream. Opportunity for the Ferrari as they make their way in towards the Rettifilio chicane. Inside line for Stachulec. Will he send it? Not quite. And he has to cut the chicane, Samuel Bean. And that's going to cause a problem. A 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And that is going to put a dampener on what could have been a brilliant race. He's got 6 seconds of penalties now, Josh. It's surely over for him right now.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the smartest move to go for Stachulec. The door was sort of open, but then it shut mid-corner, which it was unfortunate to see for Samuel Bean. He was using such a good race, but that may have just handed the race win to Tomek Paradzic, who's been absolutely beautifully right now. So it's going to be Paradzic from Stachulec, from Kedon Lutt at the moment. Lutt has done absolutely nothing, but he wants a little bit more. He wants that P2, in fact, and he's going to go side by side with the Ozyildirim. Does he get the job done? They're side by side. Lutt up into P4, brilliant move there from the McLaren, and now he's on the back stuff of Stachulec. If he can try and close up ever so slightly, he's still in P3 at the moment, but he can definitely try for a little bit more. But going back to Samuel Bean, just unfortunate that he got that second penalty as well. Not what he needed right now as he comes towards the back straight to start the final lap. Tomek Paradzic is looking likely to take another win here in FES, and what a win it's going to be if he keeps this under control, as Stachulec is going to have another go at Samuel Bean this time, and this time he gets it clean, and Stachulec is up into P3 with Kedon Lutt just dropping back ever so slightly. Knows he hasn't got to do anything to secure this podium, with Tomek Paradzic leading the way. Stachulec in P2, Samuel Bean in P3, and Kedon Lutt in P4, with this Van Pookie doing very, very well in P5 at this moment in time, with only 2 sectors to go.
Yeah, and certainly a big battle in the midfield as well, but certainly Samuel Bean nursing that 6-second time penalty. That will surely see him fall out of the podium places. Kedon Lutt with a chance of stealing back another position here, as now we're watching Tomek Paradzis with one Piotr Stachulec hot on his tail. DRS now opens up, certainly for the Ferrari, but is it too little too late as they now head down towards Ascari? Paradzis looking to get back on top winning form right now in the Alpine. It certainly has been a race to remember for Tomek Paradzis as they now make their way down the stretch now. They have got the Parabolica for the final time to take. Stachulec in second, surely not going to be able to get him before the finish line. Paradzis, what a race. He cultivated a perfect strategy, a perfect visit, overtakes in abundance but crosses the line. It's perfect Paradzic power. He has won here at Monza, and what a way to start his event 4 with Stachulec in second place as well. Just could not beat him to the punch, but what a moment. Kedon Lutt coming home in P3 due to Samuel Bean's penalties. I have to say, what a cracking race. Drama right through, but certainly it was all about the ending, and it's going to be Paradzis claiming the maximum points.
Absolutely, that was an absolutely fantastic race from Paradzic there. P6 to P1, did not have the qualifying he wanted, but gets it on the race pace. It was absolutely fantastic to watch him. The strategy was correct, the pace was correct, the overtakes were correct. It was absolutely fantastic from him. Stachulec comes on in P2. I'm sure he'll be happy with that nevertheless. As Kedon Lutt as well in P3, got the pole position but just couldn't convert it in the win with that strategy, which just didn't really go his way in the end. It was an absolutely fantastic podium in the end from him, and he takes those good solid points home. But what an absolutely fantastic race it was, which sees Tomek Paradzic on the top step of the podium.
Incredible visit indeed, and what a moment for us, folks. Hopefully we'll get a rundown of the results very, very shortly. But what a moment indeed for our broadcast. Certainly an incredible visit from Tomek Peradis. Obviously he had to bounce back after what happened not so long ago. It certainly did not go all his way when we went in for event 3. It certainly didn't seem to anyway. But he's returned now in such amazing fashion, managing to cultivate another positive performance. Certainly here today. Can he do a double? Because we've got Austin, Texas coming up very, very soon. But just in review, Josh, obviously we can talk about what happened to Kedon Lutt because, it just all seemed to go wrong for him at that point. Obviously getting on pole, which was a huge performance boost from what we've seen from him in the past. But when it came down to nut cutting time, just could not perform in the race. Maybe making an error in terms of the strategy?
Yeah, I think the strategy was probably at fault. Probably, I think just pitting a little bit too early probably cost him that position. As he did get swallowed up there by Ozyildirim and Samuel Bean through those positions, but not what he needed. But it was a fantastic effort in qualifying there, but just not what he needed. But it'll very much take that P3 in the end, and definitely doing very, very well to secure that podium and just try and get back up there at America, which we will go to in a couple of moments' time. But an absolutely fantastic confidence booster for that top 3 there of Stachulec, Peradis, and definitely Kedon Lutt to boot as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and lots to be excited about because next up we've got Austin, Texas, folks. And before we go into discussing that, just a quick word from our sponsors.
2, 1.
Welcome back, folks, and yes, we're just a matter of moments away before we'll very soon see the United States Grand Prix circuit of Austin, Texas, and the circuit of the Americas, as it is well and truly known as. Of course, it won't be the only United States race on the calendar as of this new 2022 season, because of course we're going to be heading to Miami for the very first time here in Formula One, and we're looking forward to seeing that. Of course, brand new track, and how it's going to fare with the new 2022 regulations, we'll soon wait and see. But this time we're off to Texas, and we're going to look forward to it as well. Here is the circuit, folks. Let's go through it. 5.513 kilometers. That's 20 turns here at Austin. 1.36.169 is the time to beat. But of course, we did see in our previous race the Monza circuit beat the suggested time by near enough 2 seconds. Is it very likely, Josh, that we could see times in the 134s here today?
Yeah, absolutely. So anything's possible with this grid in hand. So we could definitely see the 34s in the race. Obviously, with the qualifying times, it's going to be maybe a little bit lower. A little bit lower than the normal short qualifying sessions that a lot of leagues have. So we're probably looking maybe in towards the mid-30s to low 30s in the one shot, but it's definitely going to be very, very interesting to see all the times tumble down, definitely in the race and also in qualifying to boot as well. It's going to be absolutely a fantastic agenda. Obviously, America, definitely a personal favourite of mine, maybe not a couple for the drivers. I know a lot of drivers probably not the biggest fans of it from the nature of the track limits as well, which is seems to be a common theme with the North America circuits as well, with America and also Mexico as well. So it's definitely going to be interesting how these track limits play out and how a lot of these how a lot of the pace plays out as well. And definitely the times are going to be very, very interesting as well. So we're definitely going to be in with a crack. And if anything, Monza was hopefully it can translate here in America today. So it's going to be an absolutely fantastic racing. Cannot wait to get started with this one.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be a special event, and if you haven't done so already, folks, please don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe if you're watching us over on YouTube on the FuturEsports channel as well. Not forgetting Twitch, the FuturEsports Twitch channel. Don't forget to leave a follow on that too. But looking at obviously the way the championship is stacked right now, Samuel Bean obviously heading into this one in front, leading the way. Naturally, that race at Monza could prove to be a twist in the tail. Tomek Perantis taking the maximum points, so that puts him or throws him right into the championship mixture once again, and certainly to the top of the standings. But not forgetting the likes of Piotr Stachulec, who was up there as well, and also not forgetting others like Kedon, Lutt, who managed to pull off a podium finish after the chaos that ensued towards the end. But drama is certainly of the realm here in Formula One, certainly in the F1 esports, and it certainly seems to grow. And certainly here at FES, we've got a dramatic championship fight on our hands. Just look at that. Even before coming into Monza, you had Samuel Bean and Akinci only separated by a mere 5 points, with Piotr Stachulec separated from Samuel Bean by only a minimal 8 points, should I say. And then you got Tomek Perantis there in 4th as well. But naturally, that is all changed now, given the fact that Perantis, after winning that last event, that would put him very near the top indeed. I mean, we've got a very exciting race now, as we said, at Austin, Texas. Just looking ahead to Austin, obviously the strategy is going to be, again, I'd imagine a bit of a mixture. But the difference this time, certainly, Josh, is the fact that they've now got to do one-shot qualifying, which does put the pressure on a little bit, doesn't it?
Absolutely so. One chance and that's it. If you invalidate, that's a disqualification. You'll start at the back of the field, so they absolutely have to be on their A game. One chance, and that is it. It's not like the short qualifying where you can take 3 or 4 laps at once. It's only the one, and that is it. So they definitely have to be careful with the traction, with the track limits as well, with how they take the corners, how they take it in, how they take it out. So it's definitely going to be absolutely interesting, as it usually is with these second events with the one-shot qualifying, how it works. It's definitely going to be interesting how it plays out, and definitely causes a few shocks along the way with a lot of the drivers, or some of the drivers at least, much suited to the one-shot pace as it is. Some drivers practice for one with the one shot, some practice with the short, so some are better, some drivers are better with the one than the other, so it's definitely going to be interesting, but it'll definitely shake up the grid a lot. And obviously with the strategy, everyone will probably be going to be trying to qualify on the soft compound tyres, but maybe the bottom 11 to 16 definitely going to be interesting to see if they want to try and start on the medium compound tyres. I could probably see that happening as well as it was the case at Monza, but it's definitely going to be interesting how this plays out again, and we should be getting underway in a couple of moments' time.
It's going to be a test of strength, test of stamina, test of pace, test of ability, and obviously a test of composure as well. Sector 1 into Sector 2 at the United States Circuit of Austin is obviously a snake section, plenty of corners in this initial burst of the circuit. You've got turns 1, that heavy hairpin heading in, where you're almost turning back on yourself, then heading through the very probably the kindest corner on the circuit at turn 2, but then you've got the snake section, almost reminiscent of Maggots and Beckett's, heading through turns 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then meeting turn 7 into a very sharp turn 8, which then takes you around a very subtle turn 10, and then you make your descent down through towards turn 11, where that will be the DRS straight, where I can almost certainly imagine that'll be where a lot of the overtakes will happen between turns 11 and 12. And then of course you've got the tight twisting Sector 3 with a hexagonal curve of corners as well in turn 16, 17, 18 into 19, where you then come to the final 2 corners on the circuit with DRS opening up again down the main straight. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very big test for our drivers. Certainly many of them, maybe a few more experienced heads will prevail at a track such as this. I can imagine that Tomek Perantis will have a wonderful opportunity to make it another 2 from 2. He did it earlier on in the season. You can certainly bank on the fact that he probably will do it again. He is no stranger. Just a quick reminder of our calendar for the rest of the championship. Obviously, folks, as you can see, we have had our 3 events already. We're in the midst now of event 4, and we've got one final event for event 5 at Mexico City and Sao Paulo in Brazil. And Brazil, where better to host a finale than Brazil, of course. For many, many years prior to Abu Dhabi taking centre stage for the last race of the season, all the finales were taking place at Brazil, and what a spectacle it certainly does deliver. And I think we're going to have a spectacle for this season as well, certainly, Josh, because given the fact that a lot of drivers now have a huge chance of winning the championship.
absolutely so. This championship going into this event was massively close. Almost all the drivers separated by 5 tenths of the top 3, all on practically the same points. I believe, if I remember it correctly, 75 was Samuel Bean on top, place 73, place 70, I believe. So it was absolutely insanely close in this championship, and this championship looking likely to go all the way with only a handful of events to go. It can go either way, so it's definitely going to be very interesting how this championship plays out. Obviously, these guys will definitely be practicing for the challenges, which is what this league is all about as well, but they'll be definitely hoping to try and sneak with these drivers championships as well for the pride. So it's definitely going to be interesting how this plays out in the ending rounds of the season, but they've got to master USA, so there still could be a lot of incidents to come as well from a lot of the top guys in the standings, but it's looking likely for a lot of the top guys in the championship in that top 3 to prevail today. Samuel Bean, Primož Miklavčič, Tomek Primož as well, looking likely for the big guns here. Ulas, Ozyildirim, Akinci as well, who had an unfortunate Monza event with that contact with Stachulec early on, but it's definitely going to be interesting how this USA Grand Prix plays out, and we should be getting underway momentarily.
I can only imagine there will be a lot of competitiveness heading into this race at the Austin circuit. Obviously, we saw a little bit of controversy at Monza in our previous race, and it was, I tell you what, it was tough to take, I think, for a lot of the drivers, or certainly a couple of them at least. Akinci, of course, feeling the brunt of the issues with that damage to his front wing, and certainly Ulas Ozyildirim got in the midst of a bit of a harem-scarum fight as well. So it's going to be a mighty test for a lot of the drivers. Akinci, who has been proven to be a very consistent performer, will certainly be ruining the day, because of course, remember, he did sustain that wing damage in our previous race. That will obviously provide a negative impact to his championship hopes, but he'll be looking to bounce back here at Austin, looking to grab a win that will surely try and propel him back to the very top. But of course, not forgetting, we've got the likes of Tomek Primož, who is now back to his brilliant best after, if you guys remember, taking the double at both Austria and Silverstone in event 2. It certainly was a special watch indeed, and he certainly lent us a spectacle. It's been such an amazing series that we've had the ability to call for you here at FuturEsports, folks. We want to hear from you as well. If you want to come and join us in the live chat, please tell us what your favourite FES moment was, and naturally we'll read it out as well if you want to pass on that information, certainly. But looking ahead into qualifying, one shot. The big question is, Josh, if you're looking at a more experienced head, is Tomek Primož the man to back heading into a one-shot quali situation?
Yeah, probably so as well. It probably is obviously on the raw pace. It's looking likely, but Szabó-Kónyi as well, one of the veterans of league racing as well, looking to do the business as well. With Jakob also as well. There's a lot of long-lasting veterans of the sport here, so a lot of these drivers can get themselves up there in the one-shot qualifying. It's that tough to call with the nature of the grid, so it's going to be fantastic to see, but it's going to be one of agility as well, to just keep that lap going, and also you've got the race 14 laps ahead of us as well, so you've got to be stuck on for those 14 laps as it was at Monza as well, so it's definitely going to be very interesting how this plays out as well. But there's a lot of overtaking opportunities as well. Many noticeably sector 3 as well, with 16, 17 and 18, the triple right-hander, if you like. Also at turn 1, if you're feeling brave as well, usually at lap 1 you usually see them make the overtakes as well. You're not really looking likely to see any at 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 as well. Maybe 11, mostly 12 as well on the back straight with the DRS. A lot of time can be gained there also, but it's going to be very tight. Turn 20 as well, the final corner. We could see some audacious moves if they are really hunting for that last lap lunge at the final corner, but it can fall either way here, which is absolutely wonderful to see with the nature of the track. But it's going to be one of much agility, and cannot wait to get started.
Yeah, it's going to be intriguing to say the least. Looking forward to seeing who can cope with the circumstances at Austin the best. We've seen many classic races, of course, in the past, but I suppose the one race you can look at was F1 Esports, where Nicolas Longuet, in an effort to try and secure DRS, heading down the main straight between turns 11 and 12, actually lifted off and applied the brake just before the DRS line, failed to do so, and in fact allowed Jarno Opmeer across and past in order to take the P1 and of course the victory as well. It was such an amazing moment, and certainly one that is remembered by many, and certainly if you are an F1 esports fan, it's something you would have watched over and over and over again, and it's almost played into its own heritage, so to speak, in the world of F1 esports. But no, I tell you what, F1 esports league racing in itself is making history in its own right, and it's a pleasure to be part of it here as well as part of the FES 3 series, and continue to support it, folks. We do appreciate every bit of support that we get, and obviously looking ahead to this Austin, Texas race, we're looking forward to seeing who can perform to the very best of their ability, who can put their head in front for one-shot qualifying. It certainly is a mystery, but looking ahead, you've got to take a look at some of those shining stars that have been right at the top end from the very start of this championship journey. And you've got to take a look at the likes of Tomek Peradze, certainly the likes of Akinci, Samuel Bean as well. But you never know, you could see someone from out of the back of the field. Certainly we saw Kedon Lutt take pole for our previous race. Remember, he came into the 16th in the Drivers' Championship. Huge opportunity maybe for him to carry on that run of form, maybe get another P1 in a one-shot quali environment, and that is the brilliant thing about it. It puts pressure even on the best drivers, therefore giving those a chance towards the rear end of the field to maybe strike a surprise. We'll have to wait and see whether that is going to be on the agenda. But then looking ahead now to the grand finale next week, you know, obviously with it being such an open championship right now, no one is certainly, there's certainly not many that aren't in with a chance of winning the title at this point. I mean, where do you see it going, Josh?
It is really tight at the moment. It's going to fall either way, to be honest. It's so tight to call. It's that hard to say at this point in time, even when we are so close to the end of the season. It's really too close to call. Obviously, Stachulec has a good chance alongside Samuel Bean as well. Ulas, Ozyildirim, Tomek Peradze not out of this just yet. He is a couple of points back, but if he continues to race, obviously a reserve right now, but if he continues to race, he can definitely still be in this championship. It's that close at the moment. It's absolutely incredible to see. You can't tell how close this is at this point in time, but it's definitely going to be probably one to see at USA. This could be a championship deciding race. You never know. So it's going to be that tight. This one could be the race to watch for these final couple of rounds in the season. We should be getting ready to go in a couple of moments time. 18 drivers on the grid today, and we should be in for an absolute cracker.
Yeah, very shortly, folks, will be heading out for the one-shot quali event. Not forgetting Daniel Berezny will be making a return next week in the commentary box, joining me as well for the grand finale here for the FES 3 League. But before that, we've got one more race. We have got the Austin certainly the United States Grand Prix here at Austin, Texas. Of course, the circuit of the Americas, as it's known as. And our qualifying event, as we said, is going to be done over a one-shot quali format. So it is going to be very much a test of strength, bravery, and pace. Who's got the best of it, we'll have to wait and see. But it is going to be an intriguing fight. Certainly plenty of top-name drivers at the very top of the list right now, fighting for a championship. But it's always important to try and get every single point you can. Plenty of, because well, at the end of the day, points mean prizes, folks. And that's exactly what you need to win those prizes. We'll soon see who has the best opportunity to do so. But yes, as we now wait for them to get underway. Obviously, please leave your comments, as I said, folks, in the live chat, and leave your support, pledge your support for Future Esports as the timer ticks down. Packed crowd here, blue skies for the one-shot quali fixture here at Austin, Texas. So the drivers will take comfort in knowing, Josh, that this is a chance to perform in optimal conditions.
Absolutely perfect skies here in Texas, so it's looking absolutely fantastic for the dry strategy. So nothing will go wrong. Someone actually readied up early, so I think maybe someone has forgotten a sever, which is a little bit of a oops, but we're ready to go for the one-shot qualifying, and we're ready to go for this one-shot qualifying here in America, and we're ready to go.
Certainly are. Ulas Ozyildirim making his way down towards turn 1. I think we're going to follow our last race winner, Tomek Paratis, who is currently sitting in 3rd place right now. Here he is, the man in the Alpine, now making his way through the snake section at turns 3, 4, 5, and now turn 6. He'll soon make his way around turn 7 now, breaking into sector 2 at 24.544 in sector 1. He goes purple in that first sector, heading through the next left now at turn 10, and now the descent down towards turn 11 as well, which is certainly going to be a very sharp left-hander. As he does so, tries to clip the curb on the inset, take a lot of the curb on exit, and now down this very long straight, opening up the DRS now. He'll try and get himself right up to full throttle, use all the gears, use all the power, now down through towards that turn 12, as I said before, taking the AstroTurf on the right-hand side, braking just after the 150. Marcus Thorne has retired for the session, in towards turn 12. Tomek Paratis goes over the line of the curb slightly, but manages to recover well round turn 13, 14, and now turn 15 next. This delayed left-hander, which can catch many out around this track. Certainly if you're racing no line, you're not used to no line, it can be a testing part of the track. Now around the hexagonal curves of 16, 17, 18, round turn 19 now into sector 3 proper, that's for sure. Down through the final corner at turn 20. What has Paratic got on the line here? Through the DRS section, across the line. It is not going to be enough. He got disqualified, so he is now going to be towards the back of the grid. Painful for the pole, Tomek Paratis, and certainly not ideal in the context of this qualifying format. But I can tell you this, Szabó-Kónyi is on top spot. He's on pole position with Ulas Ozyildirim alongside him. And look at that, Samuel Bean back in the fight for a race win. He qualifies in 3rd there, Josh.
Absolutely, that was a massive shock. I just saw Tomek Paratic invalidate there and got a gas, and I saw Piotr Stachulec as well invalidating, not worrying. One of the 2 top guys in this race out in qualifying, 14th and 15th, 13th and 14th respectively, sorry, but a very good outing for Szabó-Kónyi. I picked him for that pole position, got it by 12 thousandths of a second to Ulas Ozyildirim with Samuel Bean in P3, the championship leader, going into this event doing very, very well. But I did pick Szabó-Kónyi to get that pole position. He's done so absolutely immaculately, and he definitely deserves that pole position, and he will start at the top spots with, I believe it was Ulas Ozyildirim in P2, and it's fully dry for the race, so nothing worrying about that there. But it's going to be an absolutely fantastic affair with the top 10 all on sauce, and I definitely think we'll see a lot of the ultimate strategy being played, and already you can see from the race director, Tomek Paratic, will be starting on the mediums.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who can take advantage in this early stage. Obviously now Szabó-Kónyi with a huge opportunity to claim a victory for himself this season. Of course, another man who's in the fight though, Samuel Bean, who came into this race week leading the way, of course, in terms of the championship. Obviously suffering a little bit of pain at Monza. Didn't quite go his way at all, did it? I tell you, lots of action that happened during the race that caused him to lose what could have been a potential positive result for the Aston Martin driver. Can he recoup it here today? Very shortly, folks, the drivers will be making their way out for the warm-up lap, and we'll be getting underway here at Austin, Texas. I have to say, very much looking forward to this. Plenty of opportunities for overtaking, certainly between turn 11 and 12. As I said before, not to mention the home stretch 2, where you can open up the DRS and then send it in towards turn 1. And looking forward to seeing who takes advantage of that. Now we see Szabó-Kónyi, our pole sitter, making their way around turn 1. But let's hear your views, Josh. Who is going to make it happen? Who's not? Who was the biggest surprise? Who do you think was the biggest underperformer through that qualifying session?
Probably underperformers. Well, I would say Paratic and Stachulec, but obviously they were definitely in there, so I'll probably give the shocks to Paratic and Stachulec, just invalidating in the final sector. But definitely the well done players in this race is in this qualifying session at least. Szabó-Kónyi getting it on pole position, crucially 12 thousandths to Ulas Ozyildirim there, so it's very, very tight between those two. Kedon Lutt as well doing very, very well in this event, qualifying P5. Stella Christoph in P4 as well, doing very, very well indeed for the AlphaTauri team, so he can definitely give some shocks to the systems. But I think this race, I think I'm going to give it to Szabó-Kónyi. I reckon he will do very, very well. Obviously his strategy hopefully will play his way, got the pole position down, but it's going to be close with Ulas Ozyildirim and Samuel Bean behind. But I think I'm going to give this one to Szabó-Kónyi.
Well, pit stops applied, approximately lap 7 is where the change will be made. Those on the softs, you could argue, maybe have a little bit of an advantage up at the top, certainly across this shorter distance, but we'll have to wait and see whether that is truly the case. As you can see, Ido Martin further back, he is the last man on the soft tyres, but all the rest on medium alternate strat tyres. So it's certainly going to be a test of pace for those at the very back of the order, but they will be finishing quickest towards the end. So it's all about who can take advantage at the top, I suppose. Ben Szabó-Kónyi in first spot, making his way onto the grid. The lights overhead will soon be blinking into reds. Later they will go out. Ulas Ozyildirim now marking up alongside him too. There's Ben Szabó-Kónyi as the rest of the drivers will take their seats on the grid. Christoph Zeller as well out on the track too. And we're going to be in for a really big ride here, folks. And there's all 3 lights, 4 lights, and the 5th light. And it's pedal to the metal. Go, 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 go. We're away for the second race here in this race week here at FES. As they come through towards turn 1, Ben Szabó-Kónyi leads. In mind, Ozyildirim in second place. Samuel Bean there, wide there from an Aston Martin, Primož Miklavčič. As they make their way through the snake section. Still Ben Szabó-Kónyi leads the way. Ido Martin moves up to P9. Milan Meyer down to P10. Samuel Bean hot on the tail of Ozyildirim. As well as Christoph Zeller, who's trying to gain a little bit of traction. Kedon Lutt in 5th place, licking his wounds after a disastrous first outing after claiming pole. But this time, it's Ben Szabó-Kónyi leading the way. A comprehensive start, but here comes Christoph Zeller.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic start there from Ben Szabó to get the job done from the action times, and he gets up in towards P1 off the start. Ulas Ozyildirim didn't have the greatest reaction times as well, but he's doing well to keep hot on his heels. Is he going to try it around the outside of the Red Bull? No, he's not. There goes Luke Smith in the background on Kedon Lutt. It's not going to happen. They touch wheels ever so slightly. A switchback move been played for Smith. He can't get it done as Akinci is going to try it around the outside, can't get it done either. And is he going to try? Yes, he is. They go 3 wide almost. It's very, very tight between Akinci and Luke Smith and Kedon Lutt. Is this one Pookie getting involved as well? Can't get it done. They all keep it clean eventually, but it is still going to be Ben Szabó-Kónyi who leads away with Ulas Ozyildirim in P2, Samuel Bean in P3, Christoph Zeller in P4, Kedon Lutt in P5, Luke Smith in P6, Akinci in P7, Szabó-Kónyi with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and an eventful lap 1 as Miklavčič gets a 3-second time penalty. Marcus Fowl retires in the pit lane. Not been a good debut from his point of view, but it is Szabó-Kónyi who leads after lap 1.
Marcus Fowl, after not setting a time in qualifying, he also retires from the race session as well. Not a good race week indeed for him. An event 4 to forget for Marcus Fowl. Plenty of other opportunities though for everybody else. Ulas Ozyildirim still hot on the tail of Ben Szabó-Kónyi. Istvan Pukki, who we're currently looking at on our screens, was chasing down Akinci and very nearly opened up the door in the latter stages of Sector 3. Primož Miklavčič with a time penalty as well. 3 seconds to his name, that's for sure, and that certainly will not help his prospects. Remember, he was one of the top contenders earlier on in the championship, as now we're watching him now nose to tail still down through the long stretch towards turn 12. Ben Szabó-Kónyi still leading the way with Ozyildirim hot on his tail in behind. 14 laps here at Austin. The question is though, who can last the entirety of the 14 laps? Can Ben Szabó-Kónyi do what Kedon Lutt couldn't, lead from the front and effectively come home with the win?
Definitely looking likely so far. He's doing very, very well in that P1 so far, but Ozyildirim is looking racy as he always is. Samuel Bean as well looking likely to get up there. Christoph Zeller doing well to keep up with these guys. Kedon Lutt just dropping off a little bit, 4 tenths back to Christoph Zeller at the moment as they come towards the final corner to end lap 2 as they head on to lap 3. DRS is now enabled, and Ozyildirim with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 34.152. We're almost breaking into the 33s, and it's only been 3 laps. It's absolutely incredible, these pace for these guys so far, as Ozyildirim pushing all the way on Ben Szabó-Kónyi at the moment. They fly towards the final laps of Sector 1 through the left in towards the right in 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th turns respectively. Ben Szabó-Kónyi still hot on, still trying to get away from Ozyildirim as Norbert Jakob gets a 3-second penalty. Notably, a lot is happening through those S's, as you can probably tell, with early penalties coming from Miklavčič and Jakob there. But well done to those guys who has kept it clean so far in this race. Is Samuel Bean just dropping off ever so slightly, which has left Kedon Lutt and Christoph to just get involved ever so slightly. But here comes Ozyildirim, side-by-side action, and he gets the job done way before the braking zone. Ben Szabó without the DRS in front, and is paying the price there as Akinci getting the job done on both Istvan Pukki and Luke Smith there. Brilliant stuff from the Red Bull driver, and he gets up into P6, one circuit into P6, the other will be taking the lead.
Istvan Pukki actually managing to make a measure of Luke Smith, who did not appreciate that at all, and actually Istvan Pukki doing a sterling job of defending that position in P7 and does hold on to it as well. The Mercedes unable to topple him or get the position back, and further up as well, Akinci has now bailed into the pit lane. He actually managed to get ahead of Luke Smith and keep Istvan Pukki in behind, but an early box there indeed for Pukki, and that's going to prove, well, not Pukki, sorry, that's for Akinci, and that could prove interesting into the latter stages of this race. Kedon Lutt now currently in fourth. Norbert Jakob is also out as well. We've lost Norbert Jakob, one of the AlphaTauris, out of the race as well. But Ben Szabó-Kónyi still with a solid advantage. Samuel Bean in second place, half a second the deficit. Christoph Zeller still in third.
Absolutely, so Christoph Zeller doing very, very well indeed, keeping his way in this race and keeping tight to Samuel Bean alongside Kedon Lutt in P4. So Ozyildirim pitting early, so got the move done on Szabó-Kónyi and decided to go in and pit to try and get that undercut going as best as he can. Ben Szabó-Kónyi, Samuel Bean, Christoph Zeller and Lutt, the only ones yet to pit as well. As there goes Samuel Bean for an aggressive move to the right, to the left-hand side, sorry, and gets the job done. He takes the lead of the American Grand Prix. Samuel Bean up into P1, so what can Ben Szabó-Kónyi do? Will he try and pit, or will these top four respectively try and pit? Ozyildirim, the first one to pit, we saw that from Kedon Lutt. It didn't really fall to him. Will it fall for him today? We'll never know. Samuel Bean, Ben Szabó-Kónyi, Stella Christoph and Kedon Lutt all make their way out of Sector 3 as they come towards the penultimate corner. Will they decide to pit? There goes Samuel Bean, dummies into the pit lane. He's in the pit lane. Ben Szabó-Kónyi as well pitting. Does Stella Christoph pit as well? So does he. Kedon Lutt stays out, so Kedon Lutt will take the lead and is electing to try and stay out, which is the opposite of what he did at Monza. He's going to be trying to go a little bit longer. It didn't work from the undercut, so he's going to be trying the overcut here as they enter lap 5. It's the top four in at the race. In at lap 5, as Zsolt and Baena becomes the third retirement of this race, with the top four electing to pit early for the undercut.
Primož Miklavčič nursing still a 6-second time penalty. Piotr Stachulec, an interesting fight happening in the midst of the top 10. Certainly Piotr Stachulec holding on to fourth, Miklavčič in fifth, but Tomek Paradzis, who of course won our previous event, certainly in grandeur style at Italy, when we headed to Monza, is now in with a perfect opportunity perhaps of unseating the Aston Martin, but I get the feeling that Stachulec is going to be the first on Miklavčič's list, but didn't take turn 11 overly well there. Big opportunity for Paradzis to pull back the deficit. And I've got to say the pace in this Alpine is looking very, very good indeed. Down through towards turn 12. Stachulec doing well to keep Miklavčič in behind. Does Paradzis go for the send? Covering the inside goes Miklavčič, as now we watch them come out of turn 12. But look at the overcut there, indeed, from Paradzis, who goes in deep, heading around the next right-hander at turn 16. And as they do, around, 13 and 14, Paradzis with a deep dive. Exquisite maneuver now, as they head around turn 16, 17 and 18. Paradzis power again, an exquisite move, arguably move of the event, heading around the outside. He truly sent it. Miklavčič stood no chance.
Fantastic job there from Paradzis, getting the job done. That was absolutely fantastic and needed to do so if he wants to try and stay in front. As Kedon Lutt elects to box at the end of this race. There goes Ulas Ozyildirim on towards the back straight. Where will Kedon rejoin? He's just about to exit the pit lane. There he is, right there, and he's going to drop well behind the order. Will he jump in front of Akinci is the question. Yes, he will, just behind Stella Christoph. They're actually going to go side by side here, Kedon Lutt and Stella Christoph. So it wasn't bad from Kedon Lutt. They go side by side, just as give it up there, so it was pretty decent for Kedon to try and get that overcut on Senna Christoph, but just around the outside, Christoph held it, and he did it very, very well, and he can't even speak today. He can get the job done up and towards P8 and stays in front of Kedon Lutt there, and Kedon Lutt just has a little bit more ground to keep digging onto.
Yeah, it certainly does. Great opportunity, but tell you what, Kedon Lutt very well in the fight now, and this time managed to utilise a better strategy and improve one aside from what happened at Italy. And this time, instead of boxing earlier, left it a lap or so later than those that have already pitted, as we can now see them making their way around turn 12. Turn 13 will be next, and then turn 14, Samuel Bean currently stuck in behind Ulas Ozyildirim. And surely we'll be looking up to make, well, certainly trying to make up for what happened at Italy. Remember, of course, he came a cropper in that race as well. Szabó-Kónyi, who came into this event in pole position after a scintillating effort in one-shot qualifying. And not the easiest of situations either. We are currently halfway through the race currently, and Tomek Peradžič is now in front with Primož Miklavčič in second. Though Miklavčič still has 6 seconds of time penalties to his name. Ulas Ozyildirim now makes his way through because Luke Smith is coming out of the pit lane, and he himself is probably going to slot himself behind the likes of Akinci. He certainly does. He's stuck behind Akinci with Ido Martin locked in behind as well. The closest gap though between Samuel Bean and that of Ulas Ozyildirim, so you'd firmly expect Samuel Bean now to potentially make a move on Ozyildirim. Certainly with the DRS opening up, he will get that extra speed heading down the long straight, of course. You can see that the speed trap at the end of just before turn 12, and he'll be able to generate surely a lot of leverage as they head around turn 11 and try to take a lot of the corner. We're right on board actually with Samuel Bean as they head their way through and hugging onto the rear wing of Ozyildirim's car. DRS now activates for Samuel Bean as they bomb down this straight now, and just look at the pace in the Aston Martin. Mercedes powered here in Formula One, and that's exactly what it's capable of. A comprehensive move there from Samuel Bean, and now moves him up into third place.
Easy as you like there from Samuel Bean, got the job done in towards turn 12, but Ozyildirim is going to want to fight back ever so slightly. He's closing up towards the back of that Aston Martin. There's one in P3 and one in P2 with Miklavčič battling away with Tomek Peradžič, Ulas Ozyildirim, Szabó-Kónyi, Senna Christoph, Kedon Lutt, even Istvan Pukki, all getting involved, even down to Luke Smith and Akinci, who's in their separate battles so far, just a little bit just behind, as you can see in the distance. But Szabó-Kónyi, sorry, is looking a little bit racy on Ulas Ozyildirim, wanting to get the job done. He's going to pull to the left hand side. He may be wanting to make a move there, but he's just going to push it. He's going to dive it down.
Big move there from Szabó-Kónyi, currently sitting in fourth place now after pipping Ulas Ozyildirim for that fourth place spot now as they round the S's and through now towards the next left indeed. And it is an absolutely superb, well executed move from Szabó-Kónyi, who's now half a second in behind Samuel Bean. Ulas Ozyildirim in fifth place now after a 3-second time penalty sustained. It certainly has gone slightly south for the Williams driver. Not a great visit for event 4 for him indeed. In behind as well, Christoph Zeller looking to join the fight. Opportunities now heading down this long straight. Who's going to make the most of it? Certainly Christoph Zeller might choose to do so as they now head down towards turn 12. Ozyildirim, does he look to fight back? Not this time, and that's certainly going to leave him wanting, at least for now. Milan Meyer goes ahead of Ido Martin. There we can see them nose to tail, as well as Stachulec coming into the fight too. He now moves ahead into P12. Ido Martin dropping down 2 places down that single straight in between turns 11 and turns 12. And you'll surely not be happy as Stachulec down the inside of Milan Meyer. Wow, with a similar carbon copy of what we saw from Tomek Peradžič heading around turn 13 and around turn 14. And now that puts certainly Piotr Stachulec up 2 places in a single lap. He's a man on a mission and he needs to recoup some places. Josh, are you back with us? I think we've lost Josh. In fact, Josh Davis might be out of the session. So you are just with me, folks. But certainly Szabó-Kónyi is in second place, chasing on Samuel Bean. This is the fight for the race lead now. Ulas Ozyildirim in third, in behind as well. Christoph Zeller in fourth as well. Kedon Lutt fifth, with Luke Smith in sixth. Istvan Pukki still in seventh place too. Akinci, who is trying to fight back after a disappointment at Monza as well himself, currently in eighth place, but still leading. Samuel Bean in the Aston Martin. Szabó-Kónyi in behind him too. Ulas Ozyildirim with 3 seconds though is certainly not going to help, and Christoph Zeller is getting closer, as we can now see, and right on board the AlphaTauri, right in behind the Williams now of Ulas Ozyildirim, and he will look to open the door perhaps. Heading down, Ulas Ozyildirim with an aggressive defence and launches it inside now. Szabó-Kónyi, and certainly as they do so, another launch this time from Christoph Zeller down the inside as they make their way into sector 3. It's still now Christoph Zeller hugging the outside now of Ulas Ozyildirim, nose to tail, nip and tuck, wheel to wheel, they clamp wheels, an ankle tap, but still Ozyildirim holds on to that third place. Incredible moment indeed, to say the least, and I've got to say, I've been so blown away with some of this action here for this fourth race week. Unbelievable indeed, to say the least, but we certainly are going to be looking forward to plenty more of it. Samuel Bean now leads them around on lap 10 of 14, with him behind as well Szabó-Kónyi, who makes it certainly a Red Bull fight for that first place, with Williams in behind too, trying to cultivate some positive results. Luke Smith has got ahead of Istvan Pukki too, as they head through the next section, and now very shortly into sector 2 as well. There you can see Christoph Zeller stuck in behind Ulas Ozyildirim. I mean, folks, what an incredible moment, to say the least. And Samuel Bean now, as they make their way down through towards turn 11. Szabó-Kónyi locked in behind him. Ulas Ozyildirim in behind him too. Christoph Zeller also looking to join the fight. Istvan Pukki now makes a move alongside Luke Smith, side by side now down this straight, certainly between turns 11 and 12. And the question is, who's going to be bravest as they come down? As you can see them ankle tapping again, and Luke Smith not able to topple Istvan Pukki, at least for now. And these two have been dueling and battling wide there from Luke Smith as sparks come out of the rear of the Haas car, and now deep diving the inside now Istvan Pukki, not leaving Luke Smith any room to breathe here through this next lap. Loads of penalties up at the top order as they chop and change, heading through into sector 3, rounding the hexagonal curves, but still Luke Smith lands on top and remains on top, at least for now. Incredible moment, to say the least, but Samuel Bean still leads this United States Grand Prix. Josh, are you back with us at all? Unfortunately, we still have no word on Josh Davis, folks, so he will not be back with us, at least for now, but hopefully he'll be able to join us before the end of this race. We got 3 laps left in this exhilarating battle at Austin, Texas. Still Samuel Bean in front, half a second advantage to Szabó-Kónyi, who's in second place. Ulas Ozyildirim in third, Christoph Zeller in fourth, Kedon Lutt in fifth, Luke Smith in sixth place as well, Istvan Pukki in seventh, Akinci in eighth, Stachulec in ninth. But I have to say, the top grid order is getting so congested, certainly all of them within half a second near enough. Szabó-Kónyi will need to use the DRS if he wants to try and take his position back off Samuel Bean, who is intent on remaining in front to the best of his ability, and he's doing very well right now, considering Ulas Ozyildirim might decide to upset the day of Szabó-Kónyi in second place, as we're now watching them come through sector 3 proper. Christoph Zeller also looking to get into the fight too. I tell you what, it's anyone's race at this point. Stachulec gets a 3-second time penalty himself as well. I mean, in the top 10, we have got a massive 5 cars with penalties against their name, which is certainly going to topple up the grid order at this moment in time. Kedon Lutt in 5th place himself, within 0.4 of a second of Christoph Zeller, having a far better race so far. If it remains like this, Kedon Lutt will be on for a podium as it stands, as we now watch them make their way up towards turn 1. An opportunity for Szabó-Kónyi perhaps heading in towards turn 1 now, as you can see Ulas Ozyildirim nose to tail with that Red Bull. Kedon Lutt himself looking to get closer at this moment in time, but not finding any leverage. But surely now, if Ben Szabó-Kónyi can find a method of getting closer to Samuel Bean before that long straight between turns 11 and 12. He can make use of that DRS and potentially open the door for an overtake as they then make their way in towards the next left. The Red Bull now looks up. The Aston Martin still in front. They head around the next left-hander yet again before the DRS zone, and doing so, it's still Samuel Bean on top. Now can Ben Szabó-Kónyi open up the door? You see a weaving Samuel Bean trying to hold on to the position, trying to break the slipstream in between him and Ulas and Ben Szabó-Kónyi. Ulas Ozyildirim having a look down the inside as well, swaps to try and do the switchback on Ben Szabó-Kónyi, but no move could be made. Still Samuel Bean in front, and Kónyi trying to do everything he can to slam back against Samuel Bean at this point. Kedon Lutt currently locked in behind in 5th place as well, chasing Christoph Zeller, who's currently owning that 4th spot. Luke Smith trying to get into the fight, but Istvan Pukki has not left him alone whatsoever. It is literally nose to tail right through from P1 all the way to P11, folks. Incredible 10 places, all pretty much merged at this point, as now we see Samuel Bean now crossing the line to commence this lap 13 of 14. 2 laps of magic here at Austin, Texas for the United States Grand Prix. And still at this point, Piotr Stachulec going for a move this time on Istvan Pukki. An almighty rise from Stachulec, but he does have 3 seconds of time penalties that could prove to be his kryptonite. Ulas Ozyildirim himself also looking to make a move as well, though he too has 6 seconds of penalties. It's a cluster here at the top end, but still Samuel Bean's on top at this stage. It's just enthralling. We don't know who is going to benefit at the end of this race, folks. It's a mystery at this moment in time, but nevertheless, a massive moment here at this FES 3 League. And Ben Szabó-Kónyi now might prove to be at the mercy of Ulas Ozyildirim down this long stretch between turns 11 and 12. The Williams now with the rear wing opened up. Will he send it down the inside? Not just yet, biding his time, and certainly he can at least stay in P2 for now, Ben Szabó-Kónyi, but it's getting so close now, so close that the pressure is mounting by the moment. It's all about pace, composure, passion as well between these great drivers here featuring in the Challenger Series. Primož Miklavčič battling now with Akinci for that 10th place, does manage to get it as well, but Akinci does not have time penalties, and that could prove to be the fruitful fact in that battle. The group now still remains at 11 cars, all separated by minimal gaps right now, folks, as we now commence the final lap in this United States Grand Prix. Samuel Bean still on top, Ben Szabó-Kónyi still in P2 with Ulas Ozyildirim in 3rd place, Christoph Zeller in 4th with Kedon Lutt in 5th. All of them nose to tail, nothing separates them as they come through Sector 1 into Sector 2 now. The snake section in turns 7, 8 and 9 now. Samuel Bean still holding on to that top spot. How has he held on to this lead right now is beyond me, the Spaniard. And now rounding the next left out of turn 10 down through towards turn 11 now, the Aston Martin in the green livery donned by the likes of Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll heading around the next left at turn 11. He's got this last straight, he's got to hold off the approach from Ben Szabó-Kónyi, but crucially he's grown the gap by 7/10 of a second, which is going to be vital to win this race. Kedon Lutt now looking to send it, this time on Christoph Zeller. Can't make it up, but Tommy Pirantis making a move on the outside of Piotr Stachulec. The 2 title contenders making their way through the next right-hander. The Scuderia Ferrari fighting with all he's got against the Alpine, squeezing now. Oh, dearie me. Huge crash, massive crash there between Pirantis and Stachulec. And they look to be Istvan Pukki in the fight as well, and they're going wheel to wheel, but nevertheless an almighty dramatic race, huge moments, big moves, but it's Samuel Bean who marks his return to the top in great style. He wins the United States Grand Prix. Ben Szabó-Kónyi in P2, Kedon Lutt comes home in 3rd place. What a race. Istvan Pukki comes home in 4th, Christoph Zeller in 5th, Akinci in 6th. Wow, what a race, folks. Incredible moments. And I could just barely keep myself together for a moment, but wow, drama at the end. Certainly between the likes of Tommy Pirantis and the likes of Piotr Stachulec as well. Mind-blowing moments here in this incredible event of racing here in the event 4 of the FES 3 League. Utterly mind-blowing, but it's that man who's celebrating, Samuel Bean, for Aston Martin, and those points will go back towards him, recouping his spot at the top of the championship for sure, but closely contested by the likes of Tomek Perazis, who did win at Monza, of course. What a week of racing, folks. And massive congratulations to those in second as well. Szabó-Kónyi claiming a podium here today, as well as Kedon Lutt back in the podiums again. 2 podiums for Kedon Lutt in this session today as well. And here's your running order. Samuel Bean takes victory with Szabó-Kónyi in P2, Kedon Lutt in 3rd, Istvan Pukki in 4th, Christoph Zeller in 5th with Akinci 6th, Tomek Perazis 7th, Ulas Uzyildirim in 8th, Luke Smith in 9th, Primož Miklavčič in 10th with Piotr Stachulec in 11th, Milan Meyer in 12th, Ido Martin in 13th with Zsolt and Boda in 14th. Norbert Jakob, he was a DNF as well as Zsolt and Boda, should I say. Marcus Thowell is also a DNF at this point. But where are we, folks? Where are we? What a moment, certainly, in this dramatic final race, certainly here today. And I think I've got Josh back with me. Josh, are you back with us? I'm afraid I don't have Josh back with us, folks. I'm not sure quite what happened to the broadcast feed, but I mean, I'm back with you live anyway. I've actually got Szabó-Kónyi live with me in the broadcast room. Got to say, Szabó, what an incredible race. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, ciao. It was amazing indeed. Like, I got pole, which was quite unexpected, especially on a track like USA, which is one of my birth tracks. So yeah, just really happy to pull that one lap off when it matters. Like, it was my personal best. So it was pretty amazing. And also the race, I think my pace was good, but yeah, my plan was that I save up as much ERS as possible to get past Samuel on the last lap. But yeah, unfortunately I wasn't close enough to make the move, and I finished P2. That's it.
Well, I mean, you've got to take, I suppose, a lot of solace in the fact that you managed to pull off a pole position in a one-shot quality environment. They're not easy. Just talk us through that lap. Were you calm, composed? Did you come into the United States with a lot of confidence after I would probably say a difficult race at Monza?
Even though I knew it was not a great track, I was pretty confident. But if I had to guess where I can finish, I would have said like P5 or something. But after the first sector, I saw that it was purple, and I saw I am in the lead. So yeah, at that point I was quite surprised, but I just kept going, and yeah, just P1 in the end, which was quite surprising for me.
So where do you see the rest of the rounds going? Do you feel confident ahead of Mexico and Brazil? Are they 2 tracks that you find strong, or are they something that you're going to be putting a lot more preparation in to try and get the most out of it?
Yeah, actually Mexico is one of my favorite tracks, so I just can't wait to get there. And also Brazil is I think a pretty amazing track also to race on. It's always exciting. So yeah, I have to say I'm confident, and I can't wait for the last round.
Well, I've got to say, it's been a pleasure commentating on you again. It's been quite a while since we crossed swords at ORL, but a pleasure to see you racing again, and best of luck for the final rounds.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Szabó-Kónyi. And I'm pleased to say that we have got Joshua Davis back with us as well. So Josh, I mean, what a race, indeed dramatic, right to the very end. Of course, I think you missed out on the final moments, but just talk us through it. What were your thoughts amidst that dramatic finale? Unfortunately, we seem to have lost Joshua. I think he's still having mic. He is in the room with me, but he's lost his mic ability. But nevertheless, an incredible race to say the least, folks. I mean, obviously, we're looking ahead now to the next rounds, obviously, in the championship. We've got plenty more to come, certainly here in the FES 3 League. And in fact, I've got another interview with us now, in fact. So we'll cross over now and speak to Samuel Bean. Samuel, what a dramatic race yet again. Obviously, it didn't quite go to plan maybe at Monza, but returning to victory yet again at the United States. And if I'm not mistaken, that puts you back to the top of the championship.
Hello, George. Yes, I think that I am in the first position of the championship and really happy another time. Two great results for me. Yeah, really happy.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great race and you did extremely well. I mean, it's United States is one of those tough circuits, isn't it, where if you do lead heading through towards turn 11 and 12, you'd firmly expect to be overtaken with DRS from the driver behind. But you held that lead well. Was there a conscious effort on your part to try and get an advantage in towards turn 11 in order to sort of build a good enough gap to remain in front?
Yeah, in USA, after my pit stop, I was behind Ulas and he was struggling. I overtaken him and then my pace was really good. I was all the race in the first position. Behind was Sven Sabor. He was really fast too, but I managed really well to save ERS, save tires for the last 2 laps to push everything, and he was not capable to overtake me, and I won the race.
Well, it was a splendid result, certainly. I mean, did you feel a little disappointed with how Monza went?
A little bit, because when I think 2 laps or 3 laps, lap 12, I think. When I overtake Tomek, I made a mistake, and then the last 2 laps I couldn't overtake him, and who was the guy behind? Piotr. Yeah, he had a little bit more ERS than me, and in the straight he overtake me and I couldn't do nothing. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed because it could have been a little better, but anyways, P3 is a good result.
Yeah, wonderful result to say the least. But obviously now you're in the driving seat now into the final event. Obviously, string of events that we have. We're going into Mexico and the Brazilian Grand Prix. 2 interesting tracks. Obviously, Mexico are very technical, but at the same time reasonably fast-paced. You got a bit of everything at Mexico, but then Brazil is obviously the grand finale, where so many legendary races have taken place over the years. But looking ahead, like I say, you're in a strong position. What's your confidence levels like, and is there any key dangers that you can pick out? Any drivers that you think will be very, very fast at the end of this in the final event?
Yeah, my feelings for the next event are good because Mexico and Brazil are 2 tracks that I enjoy. Mexico is a really tricky track. It's really easy to invalidate your lap, so it will be the main problem. Then in Brazil, it will be the race a war with the ERS, and it will be really, really enjoyable for the public, but for the races, for the drivers, it will be really, really difficult. And yeah, the main rivals, I think, is quite obviously Piotr and Tomek. They are really, really fast, and they are always in the front. I don't know what happened with them in USA, but for sure they will be the guys to beat.
Absolutely. Well, we'll look forward to seeing the battle happen towards the very end of the season, and I've got to say it's going to be a finale to watch, that's for sure. But I'd like to say a massive congratulations. Your rise in this championship has been unbelievable. We'll look forward to seeing how the story ends in the final round. Well done, Samuel.
Thank you, George.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's Samuel Bean, everybody. And we'll be seeing how he gets on in our final round of events. Certainly here at the FES 3 League. It certainly has been such an amazing experience to bring you all this incredible action, certainly for this auspicious event. We've seen so many bits and pieces of incredible driving from some of these drivers, certainly the biggest talents coming through into the world of F1 esports, and certainly the teams will be on the lookout to see who is going to perform the best for their team. And there's plenty to choose from, that's for sure. A lot of them all capable race winners. They're all here for a reason. They're there to perform. But an amazing experience to watch them make their mark in this well-renowned now series. Obviously the FES 3 League has a lot going for it. We've seen so many brilliant moments, and I'm sure we'll see many more. Don't forget as well that Danny Berezny, as I just come across the I'll be back with the broadcasting screen very shortly, folks. Obviously we got loads to look forward to heading in to the final round, and we'll be hopefully witnessing another superb round of racing, certainly heading in towards Mexico, where I'm sure we'll see some very big moments with the track being so challenging, fast in places, some sharp corners as well. It's going to test the driver's ability in a whole array of situations. And then of course Brazil, of course, where some of the many greatest grand finales in Formula One history have been held at Sao Paulo. We're going to witness another one here as part of the FES 3 League, and obviously those competing in the Challenger Series. I would first personally like to thank every single one of you for tuning in tonight to watch this live broadcast. It's been a real privilege to be hosting these races for you, and obviously being your commentator. My name, of course, is George Morgan. If you want to check me out, my Twitter handle is @GeorgeMorganTV. You can also find me on Instagram @GeorgeMorganTV as well. If you want to check out FES, the FuturEsports League as well, you can find them on YouTube as well. You just hit the subscribe button and stay up to date with all the live streams that come live. Don't forget to leave a like on this stream as well, folks. Not forgetting as well Twitch. If you haven't done so already, please leave a follow and obviously check that out too. Not forgetting their socials as well with Twitter and Instagram, and that's FuturEsports as well. You can find them on there. But anyway, folks, it's been a pleasure to bring you all the action. And we're going to be heading into the final event with a huge championship fight on our hands. Who's going to come out on top? I do not know, but it's going to be an interesting watch, that's for sure. I'll see you next time, folks. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Goodbye.